Hey folks, this is Kalani. We don't have too much longer to wait until the Shadowlands expansion opens its doors and we can all start a new adventure. But these next few weeks are going to be critical to get the game ready for launch. We're going to see some major changes to the expansion, I can feel it, including another look at experience required to level from 50 to 60. This change actually just hit the beta, and let me tell you, it's left me a little confused. They nerfed the bejesus out of leveling once again, so let's have a look at what changed this time and where it leaves the leveling experience for the Shadowlands expansion. Before we jump in, be sure to pop by our live stream sometime over at twitch.tv/KalaniTV. We stream every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday and Saturday, and we have a few more beta keys to give away. So if you just cannot wait to experience what Shadowlands has to offer, pop by the stream and you might just get lucky. We always love chatting with you wonderful folks too, so I hope to see you soon. One major concern that beta players have had for quite a while now is the pace of leveling in Shadowlands, and the simple fact that you could not get to level 60, the new max level, just by completing quests. There was not enough experience, or there weren't enough quests. Either way, you ended up in a weird situation where you finished the main storyline, but you could not continue because you had to grind the rest of the way to level 60 first, either by killing monsters or by running several dungeons. The dev team introduced a temporary buff to quest experience gains in both Ardenweald and Revendreth, which definitely helped and smoothed out the leveling journey overall, but the promised permanent solution just made its way to the beta servers. I don't really understand where the dev team is going with this, but they slashed the required experience to level up to 60 down yet again. I talked a bit about how I'm worried with how wishy-washy and flip-floppy the dev team has been recently, and this is another example of that. Now you may be thinking, oh Kalani, stop being such a drama queen, surely it's not that bad. And sure, maybe I'm overreacting a teeny bit here, and I don't necessarily think this change is bad, it's just huge. And kind of weird. The experience required to level from 50 to 60 was reduced by about 30%. Let that sink in for a moment. Almost a third of the experience needed to level has just disappeared. We're actually down to a point that is below where we started. You might remember earlier on in the beta phase where people were saying that Shadowlands leveling is so streamlined and so quick that you can just zoom through the main quest line and be very close to hitting level 60 without any side quests whatsoever. That's where we started, and with this massive experience reduction, we actually need less experience to level to 60 when compared to those early days. Just barely, mind you, but it is lower. Let's look at some numbers, because that will probably help us understand the scope of this nerf a bit better. We have had a couple changes to leveling experience. We had the starting values. We saw a huge increase in required experience in August, then a small reduction in September, and then now we have this massive reduction again in October. You can see on the graphic our total experience required for 50 to 60 has shifted from 2,368,000 up to about 3.4 million, and then down to about 3.3 million, and now we're at 2.3 million once again. So over the course of the beta, they have increased the required experience by about 1 million, and then this nerf just shaved that million off once again, and it's left us right smack bang where we were before, but just a teeny bit lower. We're about 20,000 experience lower than when the beta started, which will end up being a couple quests probably, so nothing too crazy. But this means that all of the leveling and experience adjustments up until this point have more or less just been reverted. Just compare the numbers in those last two columns. The experience for the last two levels in Shadowlands has been slashed almost in half. We're going back to being able to ignore side quests if you really want to with these new leveling values, which is why I'm so confused about the change. If leveling was too fast and the dev team wanted us to complete side quests as we explore each zone, then it makes sense to increase the experience required. I think the initial increase in August was too high. That became evident when we could no longer hit max level from doing quests. The September reduction of about 3% overall wasn't enough because the problem persisted, so surely the next logical step is to do another small reduction in required experience, but make it more impactful than the previous 3% nerf. Maybe 10, 15%, 20% if you really wanted to speed things up again. But the 30% nerf literally leaves us where we were before. I'm not complaining, believe me, I'm not. I'm going to enjoy leveling my ults quite quickly and ignoring any of the side quests that I'm not interested in. I think that's actually a fantastic change, especially on my ults as I level them through the expansion. It just leaves me asking the question, why? What is different now when compared to before August? Before that huge hike in required experience? Who thought that leveling slower would be the best thing for Shadowlands? And who made those changes without even looking at how much experience could be earned while questing and leveling through Shadowlands? You know when a class is doing too well, or maybe a class isn't doing well enough, and you see tuning changes that say something like 20% increase in damage to an ability, or a 20% nerf to a damage on an ability. You know that 20% swing either way is both a massive change, but also something that hasn't been based on calculations. It's too round of a number. It's not a change designed with a specific numerical outcome in mind. They just want to make sure that that class is either going to do better or do worse. These numbers kind of feel like that. They're not too sure what the outcome is going to be, but they know they want to take it in a certain direction. Honestly, I would not be surprised if we saw more adjustments to the experience needed to level. As it stands, with these most recent changes, leveling is going to be incredibly quick, especially if you tack on the extra bonus for things like War Mode, and especially if you're an Alliance player running with War Mode on. I do not expect the faction imbalance to change too much, if at all, in Shadowlands, so the Alliance will retain that huge experience bonus just for playing War Mode on Alliance. I don't think there are any other major experience bonuses you can make use of for Shadowlands, especially early on, but you really aren't going to need them. With main quest objectives and storylines being marked very specifically, you can just play through those and you should hit max level by the time you finish the Revendreth campaign. I think we will probably see quite a lot of players hit level 60 in the first day the game is available with these changes in place, but I don't think we should get too cushy with these new values. My main concern is that we're back to the point where Blizzard thought leveling was too fast, and there is an in-between point here. I don't think they'll increase it back to where it was without some other large changes implemented, but I am expecting to see an increase in the ballpark of maybe 10 to 15% just to make sure we have to pick up some side quests as we journey through the leveling zones. If they can leave it as it is, fantastic, but that does add another thing to the list of feels like they wasted beta time with changes that just ended up getting reverted. It really does just kind of feel like they've gone back to the drawing board on this one though, and you know, this reset is just going back to where they were so they can then make some other changes that might end up being both more impactful but also not completely breaking the leveling experience. That is a worry to me, because going back to the drawing board this close to the expansion launch means that it might not be finished in time. Hopefully the dev team gets the changes they want and that they're happy with in and ready before the expansion launches, so we can get a clear idea of what to expect when the doors open for real. I do expect some changes will come to increase the experience again by at least a little bit, but as of right now, leveling from 50 to 60 just got so much faster. What do you think of the back and forth for experience required to level in Shadowlands? Do you think leveling should be faster with only the main storylines and objectives required, or should you have to do the side quests as well? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. If you just cannot wait for the expansion to check out some parts of Shadowlands, we do have a few more beta keys that we're giving away. We're running one giveaway on Twitter. I'll give you a link to that in the comments below. And we're also giving away keys on our stream. If that's of interest, you can find us over at twitch.tv/KalaniTV. We stream every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, and watching the stream and coming to say hi is one of the best ways you can support the channel right now. And if you ever want to be included in the long list of names at the end of every video, a subscription on Twitch is the easiest way to make that happen. You get a free sub to any Twitch channel if you have Amazon Prime too, so be sure to take advantage of that. A big thank you to everyone who has subscribed on Twitch already and to our supporters over on Patreon. You can see their names floating by on screen. If you want to join these lovely guys and gals, well, now you know how. Remember to leave a like just below the video before you leave. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. But apart from that, thanks for watching, folks. Good luck and have fun, and as always, I will see you next time.